I am Captain Spawn, and this is day 297 of Spawn Year. This apocalypse scenario would be the perfect opportunity to finally put this series to bed, or put the sick dog down, or hire a government-trained assassin to take it out for the good of peace, goodwill, and overall worldwide sanity, or whatever metaphor you like. I mean, all the big questions have been answered now. The big easy cheat, but there it is. And we're reading about the end times and the celestial war that's been alluded to since the very beginning. And considering Spawn's character has been reduced to just being part of the convoluted explanation for why the world is ending the way it is, what else is there to do or say with this guy? A story that could have been a fascinating character study about a man who sells his soul to the devil instead has almost the entire time made itself about a mystery of how this poorly conceived and frankly mostly generic and uninspired mythology works. So now that we know all of that, the whole series should be winding down. See Spawn triumphantly best God and Satan, give Sam and Twitch a nice buddy cop send-off, maybe have Redeemer make it big in Vegas or something, and paradise for everyone now that the petty brats who created mankind are out of the picture. Sure, that's way more happy than this book has ever been, but this has turned out 3 times the ridiculous mess of Matrix Revolutions, and it more than deserves that ending. But Hine is already laying the groundwork and restoring a status quo here. I should have seen this coming. How could I have been so gullible as to think Spawn would ever be allowed to move past Wanda by just finally giving her the axe? Tiny Adam West was right. I really need to up my game and keep my wits about me. This is almost as bad as when I bought into Zeltrax's death and was so disappointed I stopped watching Power Rangers Dino Thunder. It's Power Rangers! Main characters don't die in Power Rangers, besides Zordon. And in Spawn, our hero must perpetually pine after and agonize over his wife. It's the law. It's that self-destructive and controlling behavior we love him for, right? So, Mom stops the bullet before it hits Wanda in the face, because he knows that Spawn is so selfish that if she's dead, he'll have no incentive to save the universe. Once again, we're completely dismissing that period where he chose to finally admit he had no future with her and make up for his evils by helping whoever needed it. And not 5 issues ago, Spawn vowed to fight for anyone unjustly affected by heaven or hell. But I guess he's erratic and inconsistent because he's made up of 6,000 different souls. Oh yeah. You know, when I get home, I'm gonna start using that. Why are you constantly yelling at me? That's just the 6,000 other souls in my head. How did Al develop this complex where Wanda is his only link to his humanity if all these other souls were there affecting him? Those are 6,000 really Wanda-obsessed souls. And I guess saving Wanda by messing with the laws of physics is another thing that conveniently is allowed by Mom's vague and unexplained set of rules, as is erasing Terry, Wanda, Cyan, and Granny Blake's memories of the twins so Wanda won't try to kill herself again. Now, I'm not surprised amnesia is Man of Miracle's immediate go-to answer. I mean, look at the universe he built. But I have this sick suspicion there's a magic reset button at the end of all this. Then again, I know what happens in 185, so that means that less than 30 issues from now, this series can't come up with a solid character direction for Al, even after what I'm guessing is meant to be some sort of soft reboot, and it just gives up. So then, Spawn shows Cyan the monster he really is, instead of the guardian angel she's naively always believed him to be, because their magical bond is all about some sort of preordained role she has in helping Spawn end the apocalypse or whatever. Back when Bootsy the Angel told Spawn to look to the child, he was referring to Cyan, which was pretty obvious to me even then, and in order to complete her fated task, she must see Spawn for what he really is. Good luck. 159 issues in, and I'm not sure who Spawn really is. So as you'd expect, Spawn goes all Beetlejuice on her, and it doesn't faze her in the least. I guess her faith in Spawn is supposed to evoke sympathy for him from the reader and create a sense of hope, because an innocent childlike mind can see the good in Spawn, while a cynical grown-up like me just sees a giant plot device. Cyan is probably meant to be a mirror for the twins, the wonderful positive side of humanity they couldn't get past their savage nature to appreciate. This kids see the good in everything motif is obvious, and an excuse not to let Spawn make sorts of choices that would let me observe that side of him for myself. I don't think Spawn is deplorable because I've grown up so I'm pessimistic and closed-minded. I think he's deplorable because he's deplorable. Spawn was going to let the whole human race be destroyed in cosmic war because his wife, who he didn't even have a healthy relationship with to begin with, would have killed herself. Wait, so he wouldn't have saved the world for Cyan? Alright, Cyan, help me out here. What are you seeing that I'm not? To make matters even more wiggy, Man of Miracles drops the bombshell on Spawn that they're linked because Cyan is the child that was supposed to be his. What? How does that work? She is genetically the offspring of Wanda and Terry. Her very chemical makeup is different than it would have been if Al was her father, which makes her inherently a different person. Or maybe Al and Terry are cosmically the exact same man. Hey, that's it! At this point, both are really melodramatic, slow on the uptake, controlling of Wanda, prone to mood swings, oblivious to the obvious, and as of this issue, big fans of yelling, "Wanda!" in ginormous word balloons. So what? Destiny screwed up? If Cyan was supposed to be Al's daughter, why wasn't she? Genetics beat Man of Miracles? I do really like Cyan here. It's kind of touching when Spawn tries to gross her out, that she picks up a roach and says, "They're only bugs." Yeah, and not inherently evil just because they're creepy. I also like the potential of seeing Granny Blake discover who and what she's really been worshipping all this time as she's called upon for the rapture. What, 68 days left now? And the last issue I read before the coma was 120? Oh man. I cannot imagine the absurdities that have to be invented to stretch this story that far. Signed, Captain Spawn.